Section: Introduction. In this section, we will discuss the challenges associated with large language models, LLMs, and the potential risks they pose, such as generating harmful content, spreading misinformation, or supporting cyberattacks. To mitigate these risks, LLMs are often fine-tuned to reject harmful queries using methods like supervised fine-tuning, reinforcement learning with human feedback, and adversarial training. However, these approaches may not effectively handle adversarially crafted prompts, known as jailbreaking attacks, which involve techniques like obfuscation or specific instructions. Our research reveals that even simple changes, like reformulating a harmful request in the past tense, can bypass the defenses of state-of-the-art LLMs. We demonstrate the effectiveness of this attack on various LLMs and show that past tense reformulations are more successful than future tense ones. By fine-tuning LLMs to recognize past tense requests, we can generate refusals effectively, although we need to balance this with standard conversations to avoid excessive refusals. While existing techniques like reinforcement learning with human feedback and diverse prompt optimization can adapt to different languages, they struggle with handling different tenses. This raises questions about the limitations of current methods and the need to explore other potential vulnerabilities. Simple jailbreaks like the one we present can help evaluate the robustness of advanced LLMs. Our findings suggest that widely used alignment techniques may not always generalize as intended. Moving on to the methodology, bypassing refusal training involves finding prompts that trigger harmful responses from LLMs to specific harmful requests. We assume access to a set of predefined harmful requests and define a target LLM as a function that maps input sequences to output sequences. The attacker's goal is to find prompts that lead the LLM to generate harmful content in response to a known harmful request. Our approach focuses on reformulating harmful requests into the past tense using GPT 3.5 Turbo. By leveraging the variability in LLM outputs and conducting multiple reformulation attempts, we aim to elicit unsafe responses. This attack is universal and transferable across different LLMs. While we could enhance the attack further with additional techniques, our aim is to highlight a specific generalization gap rather than develop an advanced jailbreaking method. Section Summary. In this section, we demonstrate that large language models, LLMs, can be vulnerable to simple attacks, such as reformulating harmful requests into the past tense, which can bypass refusal training and generate toxic content. Our findings show that while techniques like supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning with human feedback can generalize to many scenarios, they often fail to detect adversarially crafted prompts, highlighting potential blind spots in current alignment techniques for LLMs. Section: Setting. In this section, we utilized 100 harmful behaviors from JBB behaviors across 10 harm categories following the OpenAI usage policy. These behaviors included examples from various sources like AdvaBench and Trojan Detection Competition, along with unique examples from JBB behaviors. We performed 20 reformulations per behavior using GPT-4 as a semantic jailbreak judge, following the methodology of previous works. To prevent overfitting to this judge, we also employed the Llama 370B judge and a rule-based judge. The prompts used for these judges are listed in Sec. Prompts. We assessed 6 target LLMs: Llama 3.8b, GPT 3.5 Turbo, Gemma 2.9b, Phi 3 Mini, GPT 4o, and R2D2. These models underwent supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning from human feedback for refusal training. R2D2 additionally underwent adversarial training against the GCG attack on top of other fine-tuning methods. We used specific prompts for Llama 3.8b and default prompts for the other LLMs. The prompts for all models are listed in Sec. Prompts. Our main results, presented in tab Osser_past, revealed that the past tense attack performed remarkably well, even against the latest LLMs like GPT-4o and PHI-3, often bypassing built-in safety measures. For instance, the success rate of the attack on GPT-4o increased significantly from 1% with direct requests to 88% with 20 past tense reformulations, according to the GPT-4 judge. Similar high success rates were observed with other models as well. The answer tended to saturate after around 10 attempts, justifying our choice of 20 attempts in total. We also analyzed when the attack failed, plotting the answer breakdown over the 10 harm categories of JBB behaviors in FIG, answer_over_ categories. The past tense attack excelled in categories like malware, hacking, economic harm, fraud, deception, and government decisions, but struggled in categories like harassment, disinformation, and sexual, adult content. The attack also faced challenges with highly specific harmful requests compared to more generic ones. Furthermore, we explored the effectiveness of future tense reformulations compared to past tense. The results in tab answer_future showed that while future tense reformulations were less effective, they still outperformed direct requests. This led to potential hypotheses regarding the nature of harmful requests and the model's interpretation of future-oriented versus past tense statements. Section Summary. In this section, we utilize 100 harmful behaviors from JBB behaviors across 10 harm categories to evaluate the effectiveness of past tense reformulations on 6 target LLMs. Our results demonstrate that the past tense attack significantly boosts the attack success rate (ASR) on various LLMs, including GPT-4o and PHI-3, highlighting vulnerabilities even in the latest models. The ASR varies across different harm categories, with the attack performing exceptionally well on behaviors related to malware, hacking, and economic harm, while facing challenges with more specific requests like composing a poem glorifying an event. Section Setting. In this section, we utilize the OpenAI fine-tuning service to adjust the GPT 3.5 Turbo 0125 model by training it on 394 past tense reformulations of 50 random JBB behaviors along with a refusal message. We kept 50 JBB behaviors aside for testing. To prevent the model from refusing too often, we included standard conversations from OpenAI's 2.5 in the training data. We varied the ratio of reformulations to standard data in the training set to 2%, 98%, 5%, 95%, 10%, 90%, and 30%, 70%. We also checked the overrefusal rate on 100 borderline benign behaviors similar to harmful behaviors. We used the Llama 3.8b judge to identify refusals. Our results, as shown in the table, indicate that reducing the attack success rate to 0% is achievable. The overrefusal rate tends to increase with a higher proportion of refusal data during training. For reference, the overrefusal rate of Llama 3.8b is 19%, while the ASR is 27% according to the GPT-4 judge. Therefore, a training mix of 2%, 98% with a 6% overrefusal rate and 24% ASR improves the balance between correct and incorrect refusals. With more data, this trade-off could be further enhanced. Overall, defending against past tense reformulations is possible by directly incorporating relevant data during training, but incorrect refusals need to be managed carefully. We also discuss relevant literature on generalization in language models, challenges in refusal training, and recent approaches in overcoming restrictions. Language models are typically aligned with human preferences after pre-training using techniques like SFT, RLHF, or DPO. Generalization from a few examples per harmful behavior is crucial for effective alignment. While LLMs can generalize well in some aspects, such as across languages, they may struggle with past tense reformulations due to distinct internal representations for past and present tenses. This highlights the need to include reformulations in both tenses for robust refusals. Adversarial attacks on language models, particularly on the refusal mechanism, have been documented. These attacks range from manual techniques to automated methods using optimization algorithms. Our approach directly reformulates harmful queries without iterative optimization, offering a simpler alternative to existing attack strategies. Section Summary. In this section, we fine-tune the GPT 3.5 Turbo 0125 model using OpenAI's fine-tuning service on past tense reformulations of JBB behaviors paired with refusal messages. By adjusting the proportion of reformulations in the fine-tuning data, we observe a trade-off between reducing attack success rates and increasing overrefusal rates. Our results indicate that defending against past tense reformulations is achievable by carefully balancing the inclusion of corresponding data during fine-tuning. Section: Most related existing approaches. In this section, we discuss how our method is connected to various existing approaches. We fall into the category of mismatch generalization, as shown in our experiments. The concept of using an auxiliary LLM to generate different versions of harmful requests is also present in other prior works. Additionally, our attack shares similarities with the crescendo multi-turn attack, where benign questions are asked before a target question is posed. Crescendo sometimes uses past tense reformulations in their attacks. We have found that this step alone can be crucial, and multi-turn conversations may not always be needed to exploit certain advanced LLMs. We believe that the reason for this gap in generalization is that past tense examples are different from the refusal examples used during fine-tuning, and current alignment techniques do not naturally extend to them. Refusing past tense examples can be done through direct fine-tuning, as demonstrated in our experiments. Some models, like Llama 3 with the refusal enhancing system prompt, are already quite robust. Other solutions, such as output-based detectors and representation-based methods, can also help in rejecting harmful outputs. These methods seem to be easier than trying to fix all possible inputs that could lead to harmful outputs. Past tense examples highlight a clear limitation of current alignment methods, such as RLHF and DPO. While these techniques work well across languages and some input encodings, they struggle with generalizing between different tenses. The failure to generalize may be because concepts in different languages can map to similar representations, whereas different tenses require distinct representations. Recent research has shown that refusal guardrails may have varying sensitivity to different demographic groups, which raises fairness concerns. We believe that the mechanisms for generalization in current alignment methods need more exploration and research. We would like to express our gratitude to Francesco Croce for his valuable discussions and feedback on our draft. We also appreciate OpenAI for providing us with API credits through the OpenAI Researcher Access Program. MA is supported by the Google Fellowship and OpenPhil AI Fellowship. This work received support from the Swiss National Science Foundation under grant number 212111.